Do you suffer hip pain like I do, where you can walk for a few miles, no problem, and then it starts to hit you, and you end up hobbling yourself back home? That's very annoying, but there is definitely a solution for it. The matter is actually performing the necessary exercises to right that issue, and that's where my problems come in. Before, I had no problems exercising because I had a gym membership and I was doing squats at least a few times a week. But now that I'm more homeless and on the move, I'm not getting the variety that I need to fix my repetitive motion issues. I walk a lot on flat grounds, and that is causing a tightening of some muscles, and it's causing pain, and it seems to be focusing on my right hip. Now, in the past, I've noticed when I do squats that it's helped it a lot, and it's made the pain go away for a while. Even during the pain, if I could stop and do some squats, then it alleviates itself. But the problem with that is not so much my knowledge about the squats and how they can help out, as much as being able to perform them out in public. That's the challenge, and I think a lot of people have that problem, where they may know the things that they need to do to improve health conditions, but they just don't have the resources or say the privacy to be able to do the exercises, or even some people just lack the motivation, or they don't think about doing it at the time, and that's a problem I'm trying to work with myself. I've noticed kind of rarely at times I'll have a moment where I do have a little bit of privacy, like in a park or something, maybe early in the morning, where I could stop and do a few squats. Or even in a bathroom, I could just, if it's an isolated bathroom one, I could lock myself in, I could perform a few squats to try to alleviate the hip problem. But besides that, it's not very easy to do. I'm always concerned about what the public thinks. I mean, come on, if somebody was running down the street, that's going to get a lot of people's attention, just as much as if somebody stops and does some squatting. And I'm not one to want to attract attention to myself. It actually may seem more acceptable to the public to see somebody hobbling and limping than to see somebody stopping the exercise to help correct that issue. And that's to me is a problem with society and how we operate, and how people also maybe relate to each other. They can relate to each other's pains more than they can relate to each other's physical routines to help prevent pains. But yeah, that's an issue I'm dealing with in my hip pain. I know what the problem is. All right, I walk on the flat ground too much, um, just on my travels and being homeless, and I'm not doing enough to also give my hips more of a variety of exercise, such as with just regular squatting. Lunges may help a little bit, but the squatting helps a lot. Um, so it's something to think about. You want to give yourself more variety in your movements when you're out and about. In the middle of a walk, yes, resting can help. Taking painkillers can help, but ultimately it's a strength imbalance from walking on flat ground too much in a repetitive manner, and you want to recorrect that strength imbalance through squatting. Squatting really is a helpful thing, and there's different types of squats you can do. I'm mainly been doing the flat ground squatting, which helps out a lot. But there's also the raised heel squat, which I would highly recommend too. If you could get like it's a wedge, you could stand on this. I can't quite. Maybe like this would be the ground right here. If you could have some kind of like angle where you'd have your heels up on the tips of my fingers, and you would have your heels raised, like wearing high heels in a way. Doing squats with that really engages your thighs. But once again, when you're homeless and you can't carry around a lot out in public, to be able to walk around with like a raised heel thing is difficult to do. But that's something to consider. But just know, even if you're out in, with the pain and stuff, there's surgery is not necessary. All you need is to get more of a variety in exercise, which tends to be squatting. But the difficult part is doing it in public.